Let's be honest, most SDRs completely fumble their way through discovery. Am I right? They either interrogate the prospect or wing it, hoping something sticks using the same 5 recycled questions they've seen that week on LinkedIn. And then they wonder, why didn't they show up to a demo? Why didn't they convert? Why didn't my AE follow them up? The truth? Because you didn't do your job properly. But most SDRs aren't actually trained on how to lead a discovery call that sets up the close. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to ask step by step so you stop surviving and start booking meetings like your job depends on it. Because frankly, let's face it, in this market, it probably does. You're going to uncover real pain, create urgency, and your AE is going to sing your praises. Guys, you're not here to take notes. You are here to lead conversations, own your pipeline, and start getting treated like an AE in waiting. Guys, I help SDRs in SaaS companies consistently hit quota, master their craft, and get promoted to AE quicker than they ever thought possible. Now, real quick, I've had a lot of SDRs approach me and ask me if I've got a course. I've got a few limited slots for one-on-one coaching. Tap the Calendly link below, book a 10-minute consult, and let's talk. Right, guys, here's what most SDRs don't understand. You don't win by sounding smart. You don't win by asking more questions. You win when both parties can clearly see the problem. Keyword both. Now, most reps ask shallow, fluffy questions. Tell me about your day-to-day. What tools are you using? How many reps on your team? These aren't discovery questions. They're qualification checklists, and they lead to surface level answers, which means you don't uncover pain, you don't get urgency, the buyer doesn't feel heard, the AE has to redo your work, and worst of all, the problem never becomes obvious, which means there's no reason to move forward. Right? If the problem isn't clear, the meeting doesn't matter. Why would the prospect attend the meeting? So, how do we fix this? The goal of discovery is clarity for you and the prospect. You're not just gathering info, you're helping them see the cost of inaction. Here's how. I call it the 3 C's. Let's work for it. Number 1, the current state. What's our goal here? We want to uncover what is happening right now. That means going beyond the surface, guys. Yeah. Asking about reality, not just hypotheticals. So questions like, walk me through your team's current process. Great question on its own. I hear most reps asking this, AEs and SDRs. It's the second part that really allows you to get a little deeper. Where do things tend to break down? You follow up, walk me through your team's current process with where do things tend to break down? It takes the prospect directly into their sales reps process and gets them thinking in detail, at which point does it break down? This is a great question. What's the number 1 blocker slowing your team down this quarter? Right? We've identified there's a blocker in place. What is it? Because your teams could be always operating better. What is the number 1 blocker slowing your team down? Again, you're being really precise and you're talking about reality here, not hypotheticals. What tools are you using to solve this right now? Yep, maybe they've got something in place, in which case you will understand who you're up against. If they have someone in place, if they don't have a tool in place, they may tell you that we're looking at X, Y, and Z. Yep, be aware of the competition that you're up against. Now, what is your job here? Your job is to understand. It's not to pitch, it's to understand their current state. Number 2, cost. Yep, you've got to make it hurt. What is the cost of not doing anything right now? Tie the problem to an impact, okay? Any impact it has on the business, whether it be monetary, whether it be through head growth, whatever it might be, you need to tie the problem to an impact. Otherwise, it is just noise. How is this affecting your team's ability to hit targets? What's this costing you? I ask them, what's this costing you in time, budget, headcount? Go down one of these discovery paths and find out what it's costing you. What's it costing the wider business? This question is gold. Everyone, if you're going to note one of the questions down on this page, this is the one you want to note down. Is this impacting other departments? If you can tie the pain to the wider business, this is where your deals will go from small and unsafe to much larger, stickier deals. This is where you go from the 5, 10Kers to the 6-figure deals. If you can figure out, A, is it impacting other departments, and B, how it's impacting the other departments, all your AE has to do is make sure they close one of these for you and you're getting promoted straight off the bat. What happens if this doesn't get fixed by next quarter? I.e., what happens if everything remains status quo? What is that impact? What impact does that have on you from a monetary standpoint, from a commercial standpoint, from a meetings book standpoint? We want to get them to verbalize the consequence, okay? That is what builds urgency, guys and girls. Getting them to verbalize it and taking them to the point of pain, that is what does it. That's what builds the urgency. And then you're going to tie this pain to an impact, as we spoke about. Number 3, the third C, change. We're going to get them to visualize the win. Okay? Shift the frame, make them imagine what the other side can look like for them. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, let's say we fix this. What opens up for your team? Is it time? Time for what? Book more meetings? Do more deals? Does it open up budget for yourself? What does it open up? Does it help you grow your headcount? We want to take them and transport them to the place of change. The change has already happened. Let's say we fix this. What does it look like? What does success look like in 30, 60, 90 days? Right? Let's say today's day 1, problem fixed. What does that look like for the next 30 days for you? How would your week change if this problem disappeared today? Yeah. What would you be able to stop worrying about? What does better look like? That's what we want to get to, and we want to get them to visualize it. You're helping them sell themselves on the solution, both from an emotional standpoint, but also a logical one as well. We are going to have to add follow-up questions to our initial questions. What we want to do is we want to go down discovery paths. Stay at the start of the path or the gate, and it's very shallow level discovery, which will give you shallow level answers. The deeper we go down the path, we open the gate and go down the discovery path, the deeper the answers we get. Can you expand on that? You just told me X, Y, and Z. Could you just expand on that? Why or why now? They tell you something. You follow it up with a why. Right? We need more leads. Okay, I hear you need more leads. Why is that? Well, who doesn't need more leads? We need more leads to hit targets. Okay, cool. I'm assuming, though, you also had targets to hit last year or 3 months ago, or in 6 months' time, you'll still have targets. Why now? Why is this critical now? Yeah, really dig deep. The why now theory is always a great route to go down. What's been tried before? Actually get an understanding of if they deem the problem to be big enough to have actually tried to fix it in the past. If they haven't tried to fix it in the past, then maybe they don't understand the severity of the problem, and you need to go back a step and dig down on that pain, get them to understand the cost, get them then to visualize it. What makes that frustrating? Great question. Mr. or Mrs. Prospect goes, this is very annoying because X, Y, and Z. Okay, but what makes that frustrating, right? It's very easy. People just say sentences expecting them to know, or expecting you to know rather, where they are in the process. Hey, slow them down. What exactly makes that frustrating? Get them to spell it out. I'm having to upload X, Y, and Z onto ABC. Okay. What makes that frustrating? Well, Neil, it takes a lot of time. Well, okay. You say it takes a lot of time. What are we talking here? Are we talking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? 30 minutes per X, per Y, per Z. Okay, wow. So that's an hour and a half. You see how you dig a little bit deeper and get them to understand that they have a massive problem, because if they're just saying it, they're not really seeing it. Your job is to get them to see it. What's at stake if this isn't fixed? Another great question. What is at stake here? Do you get your Series B, Series C funding? Is that at stake? Because if that's at stake, then your job's at stake, right? You don't actually even have to say that. Just get them to spell it out for you. These deepen the conversation, guys. This is what's going to help pull out those gold nuggets for you. And I myself use these. This isn't just for SDRs and AEs that want to pick up the odd question here and there. I use this myself. I was on a call a couple of weeks ago with the head of sales, and she said, our reps just aren't booking enough meetings. Now, instead of saying, got it, I asked, what's that doing to your pipeline projections right now? What happens if it stays like this through Q3? If this was solved at the start of next month, what would that do for you? She paused and said, honestly, Neil, I would stop fearing my Monday morning pipeline review meetings. Now we're in. We've gone from surface level to emotional state. And that's when the magic happens. That's when both parties can clearly see the problem. If I say got it to our reps just aren't booking enough meetings, she's saying the problem but not seeing it. What I've done with that line of questioning is transport her back to that Monday morning dread when the pipeline reviews happen. And that is her clearly seeing the problem as well as me, because her pipeline projections now sounds like they're way lower than where they should be, which is why she dreads the meeting, because she also has targets to hit, because the business goals have revenue targets in place. If the reps aren't booking enough meetings, the pipeline projections are low. I have just transported her from a Wednesday or a Thursday afternoon to a Monday morning just with that line of questioning. And that is what you need to do to get both parties to see the problem. And that will be the knock-on effect to create that urgency. Guys, most SDRs ask for facts, but they never truly uncover the pain that sits behind these facts. Great SDRs, they uncover problems so clearly the prospect feels like they've already made a breakthrough before they've even sat a demo. They're now looking forward to the demo. Yeah. When that happens, your demos stick, your AEs love you, and you build pipeline that closes. So SDRs, scrap your old discovery checklist, delete the boring questions, use the 3Cs framework: current state, cost, change. Turn it into a template, print it, live it. Practice layering your follow-ups. If their answer is 5 words, your follow-up better be 10 words. Listen to your next 3 calls and ask yourself, did I help them feel the problem? Start creating urgency, not just curiosity. Can you just send me an email? We're happy with our current setup. Not looking right now. Now you've got the questions. But if you want to know how I handle objections like these during and after discovery, I break it all down in this next video right here. Hit that next, because most SDRs lose the meetings after asking good questions simply because they freeze when they hear, can you just send me an email? Let's fix that. I'll see you there.